Hello everyone, welcome to Prelims warm-up. This initiative has been brought to you by Aptitude Academy for Civil Services, and my name is Shaikh Datta. I'm the faculty for Geography and Environment at Aptitude Academy for Civil Services. So let us look at the first question for today. The first question has been taken from UPSC Prelims 2018, and the question is asking which of the following is or are the possible consequences of heavy sand mining in riverbeds. Which of the following is or are the possible consequences of heavy sand mining in riverbeds? Number one, decreased salinity in the river. Number two, pollution of groundwater. And number three, lowering of the water table. Which out of these are the possible consequences of heavy sand mining in the riverbeds? So the answer is B, that is 2 and 3. That is, there's a possibility of pollution of groundwater taking place and also lowering of the water table that can also take place. Let us look at the explanation for this. Excessive in-stream sand and gravel mining causes the degradation of rivers. In-stream mining lowers the stream bottom, which may lead to bank erosion. Depletion of sand in the stream bed and along the coastal areas causes the deepening of the rivers and estuaries and the enlargement of river mouths and coastal inlets. It may also lead to saline water intrusion from the nearby sea. The effect of mining is compounded by the effect of sea level rise. Any volume of sand exported from stream beds and coastal areas is a loss to the system. Excessive in-stream sand mining is a threat to bridges, riverbanks, and nearby structures. Sand mining also affects the adjoining groundwater system and the uses that local people make of the river. Sand aquifer helps in recharging the water table, and the sand mining causes sinking of the water table in the nearby areas. Okay, sand aquifer, it helps in recharging the water table, and sand mining causes sinking of the water table. Drops leaving the drinking water wells on the embankments of these rivers, they dry. Turbidity increases at the mining site. So all of these are the effects of heavy sand mining in the riverbeds. So the answer is pollution of groundwater and lowering of the water table, plus turbidity and all will also happen. There will be loss to the biodiversity. All these will be the effects of heavy sand mining in the riverbeds. This is for number one. Question number one. Question number two. With reference to agricultural soils, consider the following statements. Number one, a high content of organic matter in soil drastically reduces its water holding capacity. So high content of organic matter in the soil drastically reduces its water holding capacity. Now, is that correct? No, it increases the water holding capacity. Second is soil does not play any role in the sulfur cycle. Soil does not play any role in the sulfur cycle. Is that correct? Again, that is incorrect. The third statement is irrigation over a period of time can contribute to the salinization of some agricultural land. That is correct. Soil salinity can happen because of some faulty agro practices. So the third statement is correct. Answer should be B, 3 only. Let us look at the answer and the explanation. The answer is B, and the explanation is organic matter affects both the chemical and the physical properties of the soil and its overall health. Properties influenced by organic matter include soil structure, moisture holding capacity, diversity and activity of soil organisms, both those which are beneficial and harmful for crop production, nutrient availability, increased level of organic matter, and the associated soil fauna. All of these lead to greater pore space with the immediate result that water infiltrates more readily and can be held in the soil. So, what did we understand? If there is increased level of organic matter and the associated soil fauna, then it will lead to greater pore space, and what will happen is the immediate result will be that water infiltrates more readily and can be held in the soil. The improved pore space is a consequence of the bioturbating activities of earthworms and other macroorganisms and channels left in the soil by decayed plant roots. Sulfur is one of the 3 nutrients that are cycled between the soil, plant matter, and the atmosphere. The sulfur cycle describes the movement of sulfur through the atmosphere, mineral and organic forms, and through living things. Although sulfur is primarily found in sedimentary rocks, it is particularly important to living things because it is a component of many proteins. Sulfur is released by the weathering of rocks and minerals. Water, temperature, and chemical reactions break down minerals, releasing their component elements. Once sulfur is exposed to the air, it combines with oxygen and becomes sulfate, SO4. Plant and microbes take up sulfate and then convert it into organic compounds. As animals consume plants, the sulfur is moved through the food chain and released when organisms and plants die and decompose. Primary salinization occurs naturally where the soil parent material is rich in soluble salts. Okay, primary salinization, it occurs naturally where the soil parent material is rich in soluble salts or in the presence of shallow saline groundwater table. In arid and semi-arid regions where rainfall is insufficient to leach soluble salts from the soil or where drainage is restricted, soils with high concentration of salts, that is salt affected soils, may be formed. Okay, in arid and semi-arid regions where rainfall is insufficient to leach soluble salts from the soil and where drainage is restricted, soils with high concentration of salts, that is salt affected soils, may be formed. And several geochemical processes can also result in salt affected soil formation. When an excess of sodium is involved in the salinization process, it is referred to as acidification. Secondary salinization occurs when significant amount of water are provided by irrigation with no adequate provision of drainage for the leaching and removal of salts, resulting in the soils becoming salty and unproductive. Okay. Secondary salinization, it will occur when significant amount of water are provided by irrigation, but there is no adequate provision of drainage for the leaching and removal of salts, resulting in the soil becoming salty and unproductive. Salt affected soils reduce both the ability of crops to take up water and the availability of micronutrients. They also concentrate ions toxic to plants and may degrade the soil structure. Okay, so ultimately if the soil becomes affected by salt, it will reduce both, that is the ability of the crops to take up the water and also the availability of micronutrients. They will also concentrate ions which are toxic to plants, and that might lead to degradation of the soil structure. So when it comes to this particular question, question number 2, the answer is B, 3 only. Moving on to question number 3. Question number 3, again taken from UPSC Prelims 2018, and the question is asking the Partnership for Action on Green Economy page. The Partnership for Action on Green Economy page. It is a UN mechanism to assist countries transition towards greener and more inclusive economies. So when did it emerge? Okay, the Partnership for Action on Green Economy, or PAGE, which is a UN mechanism to assist countries transition towards a greener and more inclusive economy. Where did it emerge? A, the Earth Summit on Sustainable Development 2002 at Johannesburg. B, the United Nations Conference on Sustainable Development, that is United Nations Conference on Sustainable Development 2012 at Rio de Janeiro. C, the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, UNFCCC, 2015 Summit at Paris. And D, the World Sustainable Development Summit 2016 in New Delhi. So where did this particular concept, which is a UN mechanism, the Partnership for Action on Green Economy, or PAGE, which ultimately is meant to assist countries transition towards a greener and a more inclusive economy, where did it emerge? Then the answer is B, that is United Nations Conference on Sustainable Development 2012 at Rio de Janeiro. Okay, the United Nations Conference on Sustainable Development 2012 at Rio de Janeiro. That is where we get to see this particular concept had developed. So the Partnership for Action on Green Economy, or PAGE, it was launched in 2013 as a response to the call at Rio Plus 20 to support those countries wishing to embark on greener and more inclusive growth trajectories. PAGE, or the Partnership for Action on Green Economy, it seeks to put sustainability at the heart of economic policies and practices to advance the 2030 agenda for sustainable development and support nations and regions in reframing economic policies and practices around sustainability to foster economic growth, create income and jobs, reduce poverty and inequality, and strengthen the ecological foundations of their economies. Okay. Page, it brings together 5 UN agencies. Okay, it brings together 5 UN agencies, that is UN Environment. Next is International Labour Organization or ILO, UNDP, that is the United Nations Development Program, and we also have the UNIDO, that is the United Nations Industrial Development Organization, and the UN Institute for Training and Research. So whose mandates, expertise, and networks combined can offer integrated and holistic support to countries on inclusive green economy, ensuring coherence and avoiding duplication. So this is with regards to PAGE, or Partnership for Action on Green Economy, which was launched in 2013 at the Rio Plus 20 conference. And Rio Plus 20, as you can understand, that is meant for sustainable development. It's the United Nations Conference on Sustainable Development 2012 at Rio de Janeiro. Moving on to the fourth question, 3D printing has applications in which of the following? This is again taken from 2018 prelims. The 3D printing, it has applications in which of the following? Number 1, preparation of confectionery items. 2, preparation of bionic ears. 3, automotive industry. 4, reconstructive surgeries. And 5, data processing technologies. So where do we have this concept of, or application of the concept of 3D printing? Let's see the answer. The answer is D, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That is preparation of confectionery items. There also 3D printing is applied, and manufacturing of bionic ears, or different parts, bionic parts of the human body. Automotive industries, reconstructive surgeries, data processing technologies. All these areas have the application of 3D printing. So what is 3D printing? 3D printing, or additive manufacturing, it is a process of making three-dimensional solid objects from a digital file. Okay, 3D printing or additive manufacturing, it is a process of making three-dimensional solid objects from a digital file. The creation of a 3D printed object is achieved by laying down successive layers of material until the object is created. Each of these layers can be seen as a thinly sliced horizontal cross-section of the eventual object. Okay? So 3D printing, or it is sometimes also referred to as additive manufacturing, it is a process of making three-dimensional solid objects from a digital file. The creation of a 3D printed object is achieved by laying down successive layers of material until the object is created. Each of these layers can be seen as a thinly sliced horizontal cross-section of the eventual object. Recently, 3D printed food restaurant has come up in Netherlands. In America, 3D printed bionic ear was generated via 3D printing of cell-seeded hydrogel matrix in the anatomic geometry of a human ear. Industrial 3D printers have opened new paths at each stage of production of motor vehicles, from the functional prototyping phases, design and tooling production, to parts manufacturing. The automotive industry, one of the pioneers in the use and integration of 3D printing in its processes. Also, we get to see 3D printing has been used in reconstructive surgery to help repair damaged tissue, for example, in case of birth defects, traumatic injuries through severe burns or diseases. 3D printing is used to produce computer parts such as circuit boards, which are used in data processing. Okay, so 3D printing, it has varied uses, as you can understand. So the answer is 4P, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Moving on to the last question for today, and this question has also been taken from UPSC Prelims 2018. This is asking, first statement is the Barren Island volcano. The Barren Island volcano is an active volcano located in the Indian territory. And second statement is Barren Island lies about 140 km east of the Great Nicobar. The third statement is the last time the Barren Island volcano erupted was in 1991, and it has remained inactive since then. Okay, it has remained inactive since then. So the third statement is incorrect, and if you just eliminate the incorrect option, you can come to the right option. That is A, 1 only. So over here we get to see the last time the Barren Island volcano erupted, it was in 1991. And this Barren Island, it has remained inactive since then. So there has been some minor eruptions, but it has remained inactive more or less. So we have been asked which out of this is correct. And the answer is B over here. So Barren Island is India's only active volcano. It is located about 140 km to the east of Port Blair, which lies in South Andaman. Okay, so over here you see this first statement, it is an active volcano located in Indian territory, so that is correct. The Barren Island is India's only active volcano. That is correct. It is located about 140 kilometers to the east of Port Blair. That is, it lies in South Andaman, whereas Great Nicobar is southernmost region of Andaman and Nicobar and lies further south of Port Blair. So this second statement that is incorrect. Okay, the second statement that is incorrect because it lies 140 kilometers to the south of the South Andamans or to the east of the South Andamans and not to the east of Port Blair. So the second statement is incorrect. The third statement, that is the Barren Island volcano, it has been lying dormant for more than 150 years until it saw a major eruption in 1991. But since then, that is since 1991, we get to see that it has shown intermittent activity, including eruptions in 1995, 2005, 2017 as well. So this third statement is also incorrect. So as I was saying, if you can point out the incorrect statement, that is like the third statement is incorrect, then you can eliminate all these options and you're left with A only. So the right answer should be A1 only, and I think here it has been mistakenly mentioned as B. Ideally the answer should be A. Okay, so over here the answer should be A and not B. Okay, so the right answer is this actually, A1 only. Okay, so with this we come to the end of this session of prelims warm up. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please let us know in the comment section. Also, please like this video and share it with your friends who are also preparing for UPSC prelims. And at the same time, please like and subscribe to Aptitude Academy for Civil Services YouTube channel for more such informative videos. We'll be back again with a new set of 5 questions. Till then, stay safe and take care. Thank you so much.